much so like my go-to
Decent amount of people now, like I would say a better. I'm all right. How we doing? your seats, and we're going to get going here in just a minute or so.
And then food, find seats, and we're going to get started here in about another 2 minutes. Thank you. My name is Tom Verdi, and I will be your Master of Ceremonies for the 49th Adelphi University Athletics Hall of Fame induction. As a means of introduction, I've had the pleasure of serving on the broadcast team here for Panther Athletics over the last decade, and I look forward to being here with you all tonight. Before we begin the program, I'd like to take a moment to thank the catering and auxiliary services team here at Adelphi University for hosting us, and also to Alumni Relations and the Panther Club for supporting the event. The Panther Club is the fundraising arm of our Department of Athletics, and your support ensures our continued growth, presence, and success. I would also like to thank this year's Hall of Fame committee. They logged countless hours of work putting together this year's induction class. They are William Dabney, Emily Dorco, Janet Fickey, Russell Huber, Bobby Lanigan, Jennifer Lazaro, Dennis Lind, Danny McCabe, Adam Cipiola, Alexis Seeley, Sue Tendy, and Maggie Yoon-Grafer. We take pride in having our Adelphi Hall of Famers return to Garden City for the induction ceremony, and I would like to recognize those Hall of Famers that are present here tonight. Gary Blom, Ann DePrima, Emily Dorco, Don Gaddy, Janet Vicky, Russ Huber, Jennifer Lazaro, Gordon Purdy, and Sue Tendy. In addition, we'd like to recognize our past Cassell Memorial Award winners in attendance. The award is named after former head athletic trainer Frank Cassell in recognition of contributions to athletics above and beyond. Janet Fickey, Dennis Lind, Sue Tendy, and Maggie Yoon-Grafer. One more round of applause, please, for all of our past honorees. At this time, it is my pleasure to introduce our Director of Athletics and Recreation, Danny McCabe.
All right, thank you, Tom. Appreciate it. On behalf of the Athletics Department, I'd like to welcome all of you to the 2025 Adelphi University Athletics Hall of Fame Awards ceremony. It's truly an honor for us to be inducting the 49th class into our Hall of Fame. As Tom mentioned, it takes many hours of discussion and work to get to this point, and to that end, I also would like to thank the Hall of Fame Committee for their dedication to the process and to putting together such an outstanding class for us this evening. I'd also like to thank Associate AD Emily Dorco and her team for organizing this event and making such a special evening for our award winners and inductees. And additionally, I'd like to recognize the members of the university's executive leadership team that are here with us this evening. So please join me in welcoming Vice President of Advancement and External Relations, Dr. Tom Pine. Vice President of Student Affairs and DEIB, Dr. Santwali Bakari. And our Interim University President, Dr. Chris Storm. In athletics, we can appreciate a good team, and we are very fortunate to have that group leading our university at this time. This past year for Adelphi Athletics has been a tremendous one. We had 10 different programs qualify for the NCAA tournament. We had 4 different teams win NE10 conference championships. We won the NE10 President's Cup for overall excellence in athletics. Our women's lacrosse team made it to 2 national championship games in a row, and our men's lacrosse team won 2 national championships in a row. I think that it's been a great year, and I think we certainly have some future Hall of Famers that are competing for the Panthers right now. And perhaps more impressively and more importantly, we had 80% of our student athletes earn a 3.0 GPA or higher. We had 60% of our student athletes earn a 3.5 GPA or or higher, and we had 47 of those student athletes earn a perfect 4.0 GPA last semester. I think all of us can be really proud about what's going on the Adelphi campus right now. And we know that all of that success that we celebrate at Adelphi couldn't happen without the people that came before us. So it's really neat for us tonight to celebrate some of those people and honor some of the people that came before us. These individuals raised the profile of Adelphi athletics during their time on campus. We're going to hear all about their stats and the achievements and the games that they won, but it's my guess that it's really the people that they remember the most. The people with whom they shared a locker room, the people who they went to class with, and the people who made it possible for them to come to Adelphi in the first place. And ultimately, I think it's the people that make Adelphi such a special place. Our two award winners tonight are certainly two very special people. Greg Nurko was a multi-sport athlete at Adelphi and later served the university as the head athletic trainer for a number of years. And most recently, he's been an active alum, giving back and establishing a scholarship for the baseball program. And I couldn't think of anyone more fitting. Yeah, thank you, Greg. I couldn't think of anyone more fitting to receive the Frank Cassell Award than Greg. Frank was Greg's mentor early on in his career. And Bill Eichelberg was also a very successful multi-sport athlete here at Adelphi. He's remained connected to the university throughout his life. He even sent his children to school here. He's given back to his community as a teacher and a coach his whole life. He developed physical education classes for the neurodivergent community, and he's dedicated his life to serving others. He's committed to his craft, and he's the perfect person to receive the Woodruff Award. And we're also very excited to induct the 1993 baseball team into the Hall of Fame tonight. This is the first Adelphi team to qualify for the College World Series. They set a standard for Adelphi baseball, and they inspired the teams that came after them. There's so many talented players that are part of that group, and we're really happy to induct one of them tonight as part of tonight's inductee class. The class comes from various sports, from baseball, softball, men's lacrosse, women's lacrosse, track and field, and cross country. And I've had the personal pleasure of watching some of them compete. The others, I heard many stories from their teammates about how they stood out among their peers, and I'm excited to hear from those inductees tonight as well. I know our current student athletes look up to each of these individuals. They see their accomplishments in the record books, and they try to equal those as they strive to carve out their own careers here at Adelphi. So again, thank you all for being here tonight. I hope you enjoy the evening with family, friends, teammates, colleagues, and really just enjoy the evening, okay? Thank you, and go Panthers.
Danny, thank you for that introduction. I would now like to introduce the current president of Adelphi. Since taking over in interim capacity this June, he has been a tremendous supporter of our athletic programs. Please give a warm welcome to our president, Dr. Chris Storm.
Great, thank you so much. I have to say, I think you have the best microphone voice at the entire university. So to all of our guests tonight, I want to start by thanking you for coming together to celebrate the legendary Panthers who have made extraordinary contributions to this university on and off the field. I would also like to reiterate and thank Danny McCabe, Emily Dorco, John Curto, all of the athletic staff, as well as the Hall of Fame Review Committee for all of the work that they have done to get us here tonight. It's particularly a pleasure to see this group back together in person as we celebrate Panther athletics together. In my time as interim president and before, I've had the great pleasure to meet many of our alumni, and I have to say that few are as passionate and as connected to the university as those who compete in athletics. The bonds that they forge through their teams, with their teammates, and with the university are truly extraordinary. And when you consider the accomplishments of tonight's inductees, I also want you to think that they're not just representing the best of their year, the best of a couple of years, they're representing the best of Adelphi University athletics, which is a tradition that goes back and spans decades. We're talking about a legacy that includes 18 national championships in lacrosse. Our men just won back-to-back NCAA championships. Our women is the only D2 lacrosse program to have ever won 3 consecutive national championships in 2009, 2010, and 2011. Above and beyond that, they are the most successful women's lacrosse program in all of D2 history. But that's not all. We do more than lacrosse. Our 1974 men's soccer team was the first team at Adelphi to win an NCAA national championship. Our 1971 track and field team set a world indoor record in 1971 for the mile relay. That's not a collegiate record, it's a world record. We also have individual athletes who have gone on to set world records during Olympic competition. And so this is the group that our honorees tonight are exemplifying and are joining. Let's talk a little bit about the accomplishments of our honorees. Our inductees have helped us to win 3 of Adelphi's 19 national championships. They broke school and conference records, and they have stood the test of time. They've led Adelphi to 3 college World Series attempts. And I have to say, as someone whose greatest athletic accomplishment was high school tennis, where I was the sacrificial lamb against Marvin Bush, George W. Bush's brother, in the alumni student tennis tournament, I'm a little bit humbled to be in the room with these people tonight. After tonight, we will have 238 members in the Adelphi Athletics Hall of Fame. Each of them is a passionate competitor who has driven themselves and their teams forward into great heights. Each of them is also a role model, upholding the standard of the student athletes for today and for tomorrow. And so when we talk about Adelphi University as a D2 powerhouse, tonight's honorees are the giants upon whose shoulders we stand to shout proudly. So I think there's only one more thing to say. Go Panthers.
Now we can get started with recognizing the incredible athletes and special award winners who are in our presence tonight. Please help us honor our award winners by keeping conversations to a minimum during their time on stage. The Frank Cassell Memorial Award was started in 1991. The description reads, a healer, counselor, motivator, father, confessor, and sincere friend of the Adelphi athlete. His spirit epitomizes what college athletics should be. This award recognizes contributions to Adelphi athletics above and beyond. At this time, I'd like to welcome Danny McCabe back up on stage to help present this award. This year, we'll be honoring a very special supporter of athletics. Greg Nurko exemplifies leadership, dedication, and lifelong service within Adelphi University athletics. A proud 2-time alumnus, he excelled academically and athletically as a 4-sport Panther, later becoming Adelphi's first women's athletic trainer in 1968 under the direction of Frank Cassell. After 12 years as head trainer at Queensborough Community College, he returned to Garden City, where he remained a steadfast mentor, volunteer, and ambassador for Adelphi's student athletes and alumni. His enduring commitment is highlighted by the recent creation of the Gregory Nurko Baseball Scholarship Fund, supporting players in good academic standing as they pursue their athletic and academic goals. Nurko's profound impact and generosity have strengthened the Adelphi community, earning him this honor. It is an honor to ask Greg Nurko to the podium to accept the 2025 Frank Cassell Memorial Award.
thank you very much. It's a very touching moment for me. They did tell me to keep this very brief. There's a lot of people. So I just had a couple of things to say. I first want to thank the university, the Hall of Fame committee, the athletic department, the Hall of Famers current, and the inductees that are here tonight. The guests that are here to help support all the people, and family and friends. I didn't know so much about myself until I just heard. A lot of it has been lost over the years, but it's truly special for me to receive this award because, as was mentioned, I did work with Frank Cassell. He was my mentor. He was the reason I became an athletic trainer. I started out in my sophomore year as a student athletic trainer at Adelphi, and I said, what am I supposed to do? And Frank said, take the training kit with you. He said, anybody gets hurt, take care of them. I said, Frank, what if I'm on the court or on the field? He said, don't worry about it, it'll work out. And it certainly did over the years. Frank was somewhat a father to me when I was at Adelphi. He took me under his wing, taught me not just about athletic training, but about life in general, about dealing with people. And as I said, I went on working here as assistant. The first year I graduated in 1971, and then came on to be the women's athletic trainer, because at that time in history, women were not allowed in the athletic training room. They were totally separated. They had to fend for themselves, essentially. So things progressed. After that, though, I did go to Queensborough while it was 12 years. Initially, I came back to Adelphi, but then I went back to Queensborough after Adelphi, having completed 28 years at Queensborough. But Frank was truly the reason that I did what I did. I can't thank the committee, the university enough. It's very special to me to have him be remembered in this way. All I can say is thank you. I'm very honored.
This year's Woodruff Award winner joins a long list of deserving honorees who have devoted their life to being ambassadors of sportsmanship and goodwill, while stressing that the athletic experience enhances the educational experience and quality of life. Bill Eichelberg has dedicated his life to education and the development of young people through sport. A longtime physical education, health, and adapted PE teacher at Leonia High School, he spent more than 4 decades creating inclusive environments for students of all abilities. His athletic journey began at Adelphi University, where he was part of the 1974 NCAA National Championship men's soccer team and swam at the Metropolitan Championships that same season. Eichelberg went on to coach at the collegiate, high school, and club levels, leading teams to championships and top regional rankings. A committed mentor, triathlete, and longtime swim coach, he continues to inspire athletes of all ages as a coach at nearby Massapequa. This fall, his family received Adelphi's Legacy Family Spirit Award for generations of attending this institution. It is with great pleasure that I announce this year's Woodruff Lifetime Achievement Award honoree, William Eichelberg.
I love starting it with a who. This is an incredible honor, and I want to thank the entire Adelphi community for this. Now, I've been to this dinner many times to watch my coaches, professors, and fellow players be inducted and honored. And the reason I'm here tonight is because my best buddy, fellow Adelphi swimmer, and arch enemy in triathlon, Michael W., nominated me. Now, every single thing that I've accomplished in my life is because of the influence of other people. And many of these key people share the common thread of being part of the Adelphi connection. I first came to Adelphi 2 weeks after I was born. My dad was a teacher here, and I've been back every year since. So my freshman year, Hall of Fame soccer coach Mel Les took a chance on me. I was a very, very average soccer player trying out on a team with really great players. And as a player, I had very little to do with winning the NCAA championship. But Dr. Les was also my kinesiology and biomechanics professor, and he pushed for me to go to Penn State for my master's, where he got his doctorate. Dr. Les believed in me. When I finally realized I was not a great soccer player, and that didn't take long, I also joined the swim team, and Hall of Fame swim coach Bill Irwin gave me a chance. He taught me how to figure out what was good about my races, what was not so good, and what I needed to do to fix that. He always taught us with unparalleled sense of humor, and Irwin's influence, not only on me, but everyone he coached, is nothing short of amazing. Irwin believed in me. Our Billa Nolan, some of you know her, the legendary aquatic icon, convinced me to teach the swim class for kids with Down syndrome. After a few weeks, she told me, "You have it. This is what you're meant to do." And that helped shape my future in untold ways. Miss Nolan believed in me. Now, I was lucky enough to know Adelphi legend Janet Vicky as a student and a mentor. I was also a student trainer for her softball and basketball team, and I learned from her what total dedication to your craft really meant. I learned from her to find out what you're good at and to work to become great at it. Janet Vicky believed in me. Sue Tendy, who's also here, a Hall of Fame swimmer, was finishing her PhD at Penn State, and Les and Irwin convinced her to take me with her to visit. I was offered an assistantship, and I got my master's in exercise science in a new field, adaptive phys ed. The educational laws were changing, and children with special needs would be taught in public schools, not in institutions. Leonia, New Jersey, was at the forefront of that movement, and they gave me a chance. I had an amazing 43 years teaching and coaching at the elementary and high school. Leonia believed in me. Well, the day I started the Leonia job, Hall of Fame swimmer Lenny Galuzzi called me, and he gave me a chance to be his assistant swim coach at Xavier High School in the city. That was a top 5 program nationally, and that was the start of my high school coaching career 50 years ago. Lenny believed in me. Adelphi also gave me 2 of my best buddies who were both teachers and coaches. Fellows who are Michael D. taught and was headmaster at independent schools, and Dave Thompson went on to coach and was the AD at Hamilton College. We lifeguarded, taught, coached, and ran camps together for over 40 years. We have spent countless hours on how to become better teachers and coaches. Most of those conversations involved beer. Our bottom line was not to live in the problem, but to live in the answer. I taught with Tim Cullen in Leonia for 43 years, and Tim teaches economics and is the best teacher and coach I know. And the lessons from Tim are pretty simple. Working hard for something you love is called passion. The lessons I learned from my dad were also simple. Be impeccably prepared and know what you're talking about. My mom taught me to find the good in every person, be a noble person, to live a life of integrity and commitment to what is doing right. My wife Trish, my kids Tom and Betsy, and daughter-in-law Anna have always supported me without reservation. They've always been willing to make the countless sacrifices needed to allow me to do my job in the way that I believed it had to be. And they are my rock, and they believe in me. And now I'm coaching swimming at Massapequa and with the Excel Masters swim team. And I'm so grateful to be able to do something I love, and it keeps me out of trouble. Everyone I coached with shared the belief that we wanted our kids to remember how being on a team was a really important part of their lives. That they were better people by being on the team, and that they had fun. We all believe that kids are basically good, and they tend to go to the good. Kids simply want to belong and feel like they matter. We all believe that if you do all the little things right, then the winning kind of takes care of itself. And the best part is when the people you coach with and kids you coach stay part of your life for years. That's really special.
proceed with the induction ceremony. Each of our inductees tonight have carved out a special place in Adelphi athletics history, and our dinner program contains a complete bio of each honoree, so my remarks will be brief. Frank Tashman becomes the 40th men's lacrosse student athlete inducted into Adelphi's Athletic Hall of Fame as a standout during the program's Division I era. Competing in 1985 and 1986 for the Panthers, he earned USILA Honorable Mention and third-team All-America honors, was twice named Adelphi's MVP, and captained the senior North-South All-Star game. Tashman led the Panthers in goals in 1985 and assists in 1986, ranking among the program's top 10 in multiple statistical categories. He was also the ground ball leader in the 86 season, which Coach Kevin Sheehan remarks as unheard of and speaks to one thing, that Frank has the heart of a lion and sophisticated skills, but was not afraid to get his nose dirty. A national quarterfinalist in 1985, he later played for the New York, New Jersey Saints, winning the 1988 Eagle Pro title. His coaching career included roles at Malloy, NYIT's 2008 NCAA Division II champions, and Adelphi. He is also inducted into 3 additional regional Halls of Fame. It is with great pride that I introduce 2025 Hall of Fame inductee, Frank Tashman.
Hi everybody, tremendous honor to be here today. For those of you who don't know me, I'm a very quiet, calm guy. So I get a little nervous in situations like this, believe it or not, but I gotta deal with it. Thomas Adelphi told me to relax, stay calm, talk slow. Right, so congratulations to all the other inductees. Emily Dorco and her staff, thank you so much for everything that you've done. The university's been very special to me. I'm very honored that the committee selected me to be in this, and the words can't even explain it. I talk about it all the time, but then when it comes time to talk about it, I can't talk about it. So it is what it is. A lot of people I have to thank. Chris McKeough, Joe Catt have been very instrumental in backing me up with a lot of things in life, and especially here at Adelphi. And I thank them more than anything. Gordon Purdy, you know, he came from Australia. He stayed with me for 4 days. I don't know if Doc really wanted him to do that, but we ended up landing him, and he's been here ever since. Danny McCabe, the best athletic director that I've seen in a very long time, a loyal friend. The university is very lucky to have him. He's a steady force and supports the university, the players, the team's unbelievable. All right, I'm almost out of cards here. So who else do I got? All my boys in the back, all the friends that have supported me throughout the years. I have friends from high school here, college, guys I played against, Davey Mack and the boys. I can't thank you for your friendship and your support. It's an individual award, but I will tell you this, it's a team thing no matter what. Without the players that I played with throughout my life, I wouldn't be here today. I mean, Sean Keenan, my partner, tremendous player, freshman, came in, did an unbelievable job, 4-year starter, should be in the Hall of Fame in the future, I really hope so, because he really deserves it. Buff, Nelly, and Jerry, Thomas Adelphi, my friends for life. Without these guys, I wouldn't be around. Let's put it that way. Coach Sheehan, the genius to me. I came here with a lot of fanfare and everything, and he let me be me, and it meant the world to me what he did for me. He taught me a lot, and I don't even know what else to say other than, Coach, you're a friend for life, and I thank you. How I ended up at Adelphi is interesting. I was supposed to go to Hofstra. I went to Nassau because my grades were so good at Swanica that they were dying to have me. So I went, I did my thing. I actually did better in college than I did in high school. I will say that. So, I was playing Nassau, I finished, I was redshirt a year because I really didn't care to play for them. I was supposed to go to Hofstra, play Long Island Lacrosse Club with Vinny Sobrato and the guys, Tommy Postel was a coach, and he was a coach at Hofstra. He talked me into trying to go to Hofstra. So I went there, I applied, did everything. They told me I needed to get 4 Bs. Okay? 4 Bs was easy, right? So I go, I get 3 Bs and a C. They won't let me in. I don't know what to do. I call Doc on the phone. Doc says, come here, meet me tomorrow, bring your transcript. He got me in school within 2 hours, and the rest is history. Without Doc, I wouldn't be here either. Doc was a tremendous person, a father figure, and I wish he was here today with us. To all the guys on my Adelphi team, you guys were the best. I love yous. I go to war with you anytime. It was a tremendous honor to play with you, and I appreciate everybody that came tonight. And that's all I got. Thank you, and I'm very honored. I think Emily would be happy. I think I was on his dream.
Our next honoree, Dan DeMilt. Dan DeMilt was a key contributor to Adelphi University's historic 1993 baseball team. Enters the Athletic Hall of Fame as the program's 23rd individual inductee, and alongside his squad, honored as this year's legendary team. A catalyst in the Panthers' first ever trip to the NCAA Division II College World Series, DeMilt embodied the discipline and resilience that defined that landmark season. He remains Adelphi's single-season leader in at-bats and ranks top 10 in multiple career categories, including 4th in hits and runs. His standout 1993 campaign earned him ABCA All-America and Northeast Region Player of the Year honors. After a 30-year software engineering career, DeMilt now works in the Sachem School District, and his son Zach will join the Panthers in 2026. It is with great pride that I introduce the 2025 Hall of Fame inductee, Dan DeMilt.
I'd like to thank the Adelphi Athletic Department and the Hall of Fame Committee for this honor. Truly an honor to be recognized for my achievements. This induction would not be possible without the help of so many people. Being inducted in the same class as the 93 team makes this even more special, because without that team, I would not have had the season I've had, and we would not have experienced this amazing season together. It's also very special to be inducted in front of my 2 sons, Matt and Zach.
said how cool it was that he was there when his dad was being inducted. So I hope Matt and Zach think this is cool as well. Coach Gaff, I have a challenge for you. Zach is way better than I was when I got here, so let's make him better than I was when he leaves. I want to acknowledge my family as well, because I'm the youngest of 5 children who had a huge part in who I've become. Bill and Rich were my 2 oldest brothers. They were always supportive of my athletic career. I remember seeing them attend my All-Star games at Shea Stadium and Yankee Stadium. My sister Adelphi is more than a big sister. When I was growing up, she was one of my biggest supporters, going to all my games, cutting out my clippings, and driving my mom to the games. My brother Mike, who would practice with me the most. He was one of my coaches growing up on my CYO teams. He would throw batting practice whenever I wanted. He also was not a very good catch thrower. Like having a catch with Steve Sachs, he had the yips. He'd be throwing the ball all over the place. I did not realize it then, but it was actually one of the best things that could have happened to me. Helped me develop my reflexes, my hands, fielding short and bad height. He also made sure I was capable of playing every position on the field, which I passed on to Zach as well. Although I played shortstop exclusively for my last 2 years, prior to that, I started games at 6 different positions. I could have started in center field over domino. My dad was a pretty good baseball player as well when he was younger. When he got out of the Navy, he was offered a tryout by the Yankees from Lefty Gomez. And one of my fondest memories of my dad was watching him climb over a fence to retrieve one of my home runs. My parents would be at just about every game and every sport I played. My mom said to me, everything happens for a reason, and it's crazy how that would apply to me throughout the rest of my life. She was always my biggest fan and would actually bruise her legs, slapping them, getting excited for me at any one of my games. She'd also keep me in check. She liked to remind me that I thought everybody was going to be dying for me to play for them in college, and I only had one offer. So, of course, I go to the one school that gave me the offer, East Stroudsburg in Pennsylvania. Thought I did very well in the fall. Find out they didn't think I did so well because I got cut right after the fall season. My dad was sick at the time, and I was not sure what I was going to do. So my best friends in the 7th grade, Phil Caminetti, said to me, why don't you come to Adelphi? The school's great, the team's great, you'll have fun here. He has joked to me in the past that he should be in the Hall of Fame for bringing me to Adelphi. I have so many memories growing up with Phil, but one of them that stands out to me was him introducing me to the term the dancing bear ground ball, which is a ground ball that is impossible to field. Spins around and you can't catch it. I have explained this phenomenon to Zach, and hopefully he never has to experience that. To say Adelphi has a special place in my heart is a true understatement. I met my wife Patty here. I got engaged on Stiles Field, which is now the parking garage under Modern Field. And usually an All-American athlete and now Hall of Famer would be the best athlete in the family. However, not in this family. Because Patty played 3 sports at Adelphi, soccer, basketball, and tennis. And she's in the Hall of Fame as a member of the 92 legendary soccer team, going to the Final Four all 4 years she played here. And she started every game of a 4-year career. Zach, following my footsteps might be the easy way out because your mom's usually much harder to play. First day of fall baseball, my first year here, I meet Coach Davies. Obviously, the most important part of my baseball career started that day. After 1 round of batting practice, Coach calls me over behind the backstop, starts drawing circles and lines in the dirt, asking me about my stance, my approach. I have no idea what he's talking about. Never thought about my grip. My stance I copied from Keith and Andy. Then he explains everything. I may only get one good at bat, one good pitch at each at bat, and if it's the first pitch, swing at it. Needless to say, after that, if the first pitch was a fastball and anything close to a strike, I was swinging. He also told me to try and use type of stance and grip. Now, I was just cut from my last college team, so of course I'm following his suggestions. Did not feel good at all, but I was going to make it work. Didn't play much my freshman year, as expected, as a walk-on freshman, but I did hit 2 of my first home runs over a fence, So that was exciting. I'm like, I guess it's working. My dad passed away in September of my second year. And the team and coaches all showed up to support me to my dad's services. This showed me what the Adelphi family was all about. All of a sudden, I started to hit like I imagined Coach Davey expected, and maybe with some help from above. I hit a home run in a full doubleheader at Mitchell Field, and the coach batted me fourth in the second game. He must have seen my face and said to me, did anyone else hit a home run in the first game? I think I hit fourth for the next 2 seasons. My junior season, we lost in the regionals, which was even more disappointing to me because that season would be the last I would play at Adelphi with Phil and Bob New York, who were and are my best friends. My senior season started just how my college career ended. It started terribly and ended as good as could be. We started the season in Georgia and went 1-7. I think that was the only time Coach Davies ever gave us a punishment run in my 4 years here. It must have worked because we finished the season, go to the World Series, and finished third in the World Series. I batted third in the lineup that season, but only because Coach Davies wanted Don Gaddy to get more at bats, so he had him batting first as he was the best hitter. Still cool to say I was the 3-hitter on a World Series college team. Don was another huge part of my development. He introduced me to lifting weights and gave me a program to follow, and all of a sudden I started hitting more home runs and just became a better hitter following his lead. I also wouldn't have received all the Player of the Year awards I would have won if Don didn't earn the Dick Hauser National Player of the Year award, which is the Heisman for baseball. I thought I was done writing my speech, but I had to add this little story because Zach was home this past weekend for Thanksgiving, and we were talking, and he says, Dad, is Dom coming to the awards dinner? I said, he is. He goes, I'm finally going to get to meet the Dom Gaddy. I said, you are. Dom, you were a huge part of my learning how to hit and becoming a better hitter, so you've been referenced quite a bit when I'm teaching Zach. Coach Gaff, I'm changing my challenge. I want you to make Zach better than Dom Gaddy. Also don't know if my induction would happen without Bob New York, one of my other best friends. Bobby and I have been friends since Phil introduced us when I first got to Adelphi. I like to joke that besides Patty, he's the person that I've slept with the most in bed. He was my roommate on all our trips. Phil was the captain, he got to bed by himself. He has been advocating for me for years to be inducted into the Hall of Fame. I think his persistence finally wore over the committee. Thanks, Bob. Also like to thank Mr. Caminetti for coming tonight to support me. It means the world that you would want to be here. Also wanted to acknowledge some of the people that are no longer with us. My mom and dad, my brother Rich, Coach Davies, Coach Chewinski, Mr. Caminetti, and Mr. New York. I have to admit, it's very humbling to see my son play on the same field I played on, to see my name on the outfield wall, and now to be a part of this Hall of Fame. Thank you all so much for this honor. Go Panthers.
In keeping with our baseball theme, we would like to recognize this year's legendary team. The 1993 baseball team made historic strides that season, led by Hall of Fame head coach Ron Davies. The 1993 team made the program's first ever appearance in the NCAA College World Series. Even after losing by a run in their debut at Patterson Field in Montgomery, Alabama, the Panthers resiliently came out of the loser's bracket to advance to the national semifinals, following a 6-4 win over the University of Missouri-St. Louis and a 7-6 victory over the University of South Carolina-Aiken. The Panthers finished that season at 32-17 overall and placed 5 players on the NYCAC All-Conference team, highlighted by Dan DeMilt's ECAC and Northeast Region Player of the Year honor. Many players still appear in the record book's top 10 for a variety of statistical categories, both for career and single-season rankings. Danny, would you please join me to hand out the mementos to this team as we recognize the 1993 Adelphi University baseball team as our Adelphi Athletics Hall of Fame legendary team. Please come up as you hear your name. Bill Aaron, Paul Abate, Norman Barada, Ken Broderick, John Byrne, Chris DeFlorio, Dan DeMilt, Steve Donovan, Brady Forseth, Dom Gaddy, Garrett Harris, Joe Intagliata, Christian Kavita, Jim Lovett, Steve Lucas, Eric Mann, Greg Moresco, Ken Mazer, Mike McNamara, John Mushmacher, Brian Pamatak, Tom Rizzuto, Mike Rockwood, Will Blond, and Don Whiston. We also wish to acknowledge and honor the lives of our late coaches, head coach Ron Davies and assistant coach Tom Sawinski. I would now like to invite Paul Abate to say a few words on behalf of this history-making group.
Life said stay on script. Like my starts in the College World Series, I will make it brief. On behalf of the Adelphi baseball team, I'd like to thank Adelphi University for this incredible honor. But I would be remiss if I also didn't thank two people that put the team together to make it all happen, and that would be Coach Tom Sawinski and Ron Davies. Without them, we would not be here to celebrate today, and I wish that they were here to celebrate with us. So thank you, coaches. The 1993 baseball team was the first team in school history to make it into the College World Series. We introduced Montgomery, Alabama, and the rest of the country how Adelphi baseball is played. And you could feel the energy in the crowd as the week progressed, as they quickly became a crowd. We quickly became a crowd favorite. And for me, and the people that watched us play that week, Game 1 of the College World Series was the event that demonstrated who we were as a team. The night before that game, I witnessed a no-hitter be thrown by Troy State. And I watched the Florida team hit about 15 home runs the night before our game. So needless to say, I was nervous. I was anxious and nervous about our game, and it showed. I did not last long, and we were quickly behind, playing against not just one of the top teams in the country, but we heard this pitcher that was thrown against us was like top prospect in Division II baseball. So it was a true David versus Goliath storyline. But that never mattered with us. We battled, and the team support was there. It was always there. and the bullpen came in to stop the bleeding, and our offense, as it always did, came through in the clutch. And if my memory was correct, I believe we had like 9 consecutive hits in one inning. I think we just tagged that guy on one inning, we just blasting hits off him. And while we did lose that incredible, epic back and forth game, we went on to win the next 3 games, and became 1 win away from the championship game. That game 1, and this season, was a true collaborative team effort. The sum was always bigger than the parts. We were a family on and off the field. This team represents the things we try to teach and encourage others even today, whether in the classroom, at home, on the field, as a parent, teacher, or coach. Never quit, hard work, have fun, support others while they're down. Winning is contagious, and the most important, be incredibly careful when you room with Norm in a hotel. I love quotes, so I got 2 quotes here. Of course, one is from a baseball movie, Field of Dreams. And it goes like this: we don't realize the most significant moments in our lives while they're happening. Back then, we think there'll be other days, only to realize that was the only day. And at that time, we did not realize how significant our team in that year really was. But tonight exemplifies just how significant it was. So congrats to the 1993 Adelphi baseball team. And then my last quote, because it would only be fitting to quote our favorite #1 fan, Lou Monty. Yeah. Right? Wearing his beat-up fedora and holding his cigar, that no matter what you do in life, be sure to hit the ball right. Thank you.
Our next honoree is Caitlin Carter. Caitlin Carter was a driving force behind one of the most dominant eras in Adelphi women's lacrosse history, helping the Panthers to become the first Division II women's program to win 3 consecutive NCAA national championships. A Mineola native, she made an immediate impact as a freshman, starting all 17 games and earning East Coast Conference and ECAC Rookie of the Year honors after posting 61 points. Carter went on to earn IWLCA and U.S. Lacrosse All-America recognition in each of her first 2 seasons, including a first-team nod in 2009, and delivered clutch postseason performances highlighted by 5 goals in the 2010 title game, to be named to the All-Tournament team. She remains in the top 10 in multiple career categories and was integral to Adelphi's early NE10 championship success, excelling equally as a student and leader. She becomes just the 8th women's lacrosse student athlete to be voted into the Adelphi Hall of Fame. It is with great pride that I introduce 2025 Hall of Fame inductee, Caitlin Carter.
was a senior at Mineola High School, and I was playing in my very last sporting event, which happened to be a lacrosse game, or so I thought. After graduation, I had planned to go to an upstate school to major in a music program. During this final game, Catherine Hawk's father, and if you don't know who Catherine Hawk is, she's a Mineola alumni. She was my soccer coach at the time, and she's also in the Adelphi Athletic Hall of Fame for lacrosse. Her father came up to my father. He had been helping recruit for the Adelphi women's lacrosse team and asked my dad if I would be interested in playing lacrosse at AU next year. When I got in the car, my dad proposed the idea to me, and I basically shrugged my shoulders and said, sure. Of course, at the time, I didn't realize how that shrugged off sure would impact and change the trajectory of my life. Fast forward to the fall. I can remember vividly the first day of fall ball. We were playing in some kind of scrimmage, and while I played, I heard my coach, Joe Spalina, turn to his assistant at the time and say something to the effect of, she's definitely a FOGO, which if you're not familiar with that term, in lacrosse it means face off, get off. And I remember thinking, FOGO? Challenge accepted. And well, here we are. If I'm being honest, as a player, I definitely didn't have the best stick and was not the most polished and certainly did not have the highest lacrosse IQ, but I learned very quickly the value of a little bit of natural talent and a lot of hard work. In my 4 years at Adelphi, we made it to 4 national tournaments and won 3 national championships. While these were amazing, once-in-a-lifetime accomplishments, they pale in comparison to the lifelong lessons being on the Adelphi women's lacrosse team has taught me. Sport truly mirrors life, which is something I reflect on often. Confidence, winning, perseverance, discipline, humility, adaptability, communication, respect, just to name a few. And interestingly enough, losing. Although not very many losses during our run here, but definitely losing. Losing is a life skill. In life, I've lost many times, failed tests, lost games, missed out on prospective jobs. I don't even want to remind my husband about all the items I lose daily. And of course, the worst loss of all, people. I've learned through sports that with each loss, small or big, you may have to rewrite the game plan, call a timeout, or even ask for a sub. With the right teammates, friends, and family by your side, you will always come out on the other end of a loss. Dusty, shaky, maybe bumped or a little bruised, but definitely stronger, more resilient with a new lesson in your pocket. I have learned the ability to gain through loss is something it's something I am forever grateful for. With all this being said, I want to thank the following. Adelphi University, a place that became a home where I had the absolute time of my life. Mr. Hawk and Catherine Hawk, who both saw something in me and took a chance. Mike Gavigan, who was not only an athletic trainer, but a listening ear and a friend. Coaches and teammates who were by my side through every practice, run, game, and championship. Emily and Nicole, who started out as teammates here but became best friends. My friends from home, especially Sam, who have known and loved every version of me and for showing up in every way along the way. My sisters, who are my role models, mentors, and confidants. My brother, who passed away in 2018, but whose voice I can still hear clear as day, cheering the loudest for me in any crowd. My in-laws, who have my 3 kids right now, who literally drop everything to help us. My parents, which I don't even know how you begin to thank parents. There's truly no words. You worked so hard, raised me in a safe, loving home, and still show up for me every single minute of every day, and always have. And a final thank you to my favorite teammate I've had so far, my husband. Matt, I'm so grateful life has brought us together. You are everything a father and husband should be. Thank you for sliding into my DMs all those years ago to talk, laughs. and mostly thank you for giving me my 3 most precious gifts, Shane, Coco, and Violet. I'm truly honored and humbled to be here today as a new member of the Adelphi University Athletic Hall of Fame, and congratulations to the fellow honorees. Thank you.
Andrew Coelho, the first men's runner in Adelphi history to qualify for the NCAA Cross Country National Championship in 2010, went on to make 3 appearances on the national stage and earned USTFCCA All-America honors twice. A 4-time All-Conference performer, he remains among the NE10's all-time leaders with 2 top 50 8K times. Coelho also excelled on the track, winning gold in the 4x400 relay in 2011 and capturing the 5,000-meter title at the 2012 NE10 Outdoor Championships. His indoor 3,000-meter record from 2013 still stands. Coelho earned degrees in physical education and nursing and now works as a registered nurse at Northwell Health while pursuing a doctorate of nurse practice. He becomes the 10th cross-country and 31st Track and Field Hall of Fame inductee. It is with great pride that I introduce 2025 Hall of Fame inductee, Andrew Coelho.
Good evening, everyone. For those that don't know me, I'm a pretty soft speaker. I also don't like the spotlight. For those that do know me, this is going to be a relatively short speech, which I'm sure you're not surprised. So, incredible honor to be here today alongside all the other inductees. It seems super surreal hearing all these accolades because it's been a good 10, 12 years. It feels like forever ago. Based off my photo, it looks like it's been like 20 years ago. Of course, they're nothing like me. But super grateful to be here. I really want to thank Danny McCabe
Before we get to our next and final inductee, I'd like to ask Hall of Fame and legendary Adelphi softball coach Janet Fickey to join Danny on stage. Brenna Martini, a dominant offensive presence and stalwart third baseman for Adelphi softball from 2015 to 2018, becomes the softball program's 19th Hall of Fame inductee. She graduated as the all-time leader in 5 offensive categories, marks that still stand, and ranks in the top 10 in 4 others. A 3-time NFCA All-America, Martini powered Adelphi to consecutive Division II Women's College World Series appearances in 2015 and 2016. She was the first softball player in NE10 history to earn 3 straight Player of the Year awards, and later added NE10 Woman of the Year and Adelphi Female Athlete of the Year honors to her resume. A top candidate for National Player of the Year recognition, she also excelled academically with 3 COSIDA Academic All-America selections. Martini later joined Adelphi's coaching staff and now serves as an assistant coach at UMass Lowell. Her grandfather, the late Joe Martini, was part of the first ever Adelphi Hall of Fame induction class in 1961. It is with great pride that I introduce 2025 Hall of Fame inductee, Brenna Martini.
Can get the common cold, so I'm gonna try and power through this. But I want to begin by congratulating my fellow inductees. It was amazing to hear about your time as Panthers, and I am proud to be inducted alongside such remarkable student athletes. I'd like to thank the selection committee for this recognition, as well as Danny, Emily, and the rest of the Adelphi athletic staff who worked to plan this evening. Tonight is not just about looking back at what we have accomplished. It's about honoring the people and experiences that have made it possible. My freshman year, our season was set to start in sunny California. We were excited. We wanted to dip our feet in the Pacific. Until 7 days later, we got on the plane and we hadn't won a game. So we were 0-10. We got back to campus feeling pretty defeated, despite our coaches telling us it's all about the experience and playing top competition will shape our season. Blah, blah, blah. A little less than 3 months later, we were on the field at Southern New Hampshire celebrating our East Region Championship. So, I guess you were right. We were going to be just fine. We started off the year 0-10, but ended our season in Oklahoma City on the biggest stage in college softball. We were surrounded by, in the end, I was surrounded by emotional teammates once again, but this time we weren't crying over loss because none of us were ready for it to be over. And we weren't done playing together. I would do it all over again in a heartbeat. Throughout my 4 years as a Panther, I had the honor of playing with some amazing people who today I get to call my best friends. My first roommate and friend at Adelphi, Steph. Thank you for dragging me to political science classes with you. Although it did not advance my physical education degree, I would go back and do it all again with you. To my neighbors on the field, Danny and Wade, thank you for making sure all the balls that tipped off my glove made it to first base. I was known for my hitting, not my fielding. Lastly, to our conductor and glue behind the plate, Nikki, thank you for always keeping me on my toes and bringing that larger-than-life personality to practice every day. Thank you for being incredible teammates and continuing to be my family away from home. Next, I'd like to thank my coaches who are here tonight, Ope and Wink. Ope, thank you for teaching me about the game in ways I did not know were possible. You are a true teacher in every sense of the word. I will forever be grateful for the time, effort, and passion you put into your student athletes every day. I went into coaching with the same vision of teaching and caring about my student athletes as you did. Wayne, thank you for being our sounding board when we thought Oak was off his rocker, which was often. It was a true honor being your teammate and being coached by you. To the Rock of Adelphi softball, Janet, thank you for blazing the trail for us as Panthers, but also as female athletes. You fought when everyone else wanted to stay quiet, and you are still fighting today for female athletes. I am incredibly lucky to be a part of this family that you have built at Adelphi, so thank you. After graduation, I think it was no surprise I chose to get into coaching. To my first boss and friend, Carla, thank you for taking me under your wing. I am grateful for the time we had as Panthers as you further the legacy of Adelphi softball. It was a true gift for me to get to coach at Adelphi after I was done playing. To the New Haven Chargers in attendance, Jen and Britt, thank you for giving me more base on balls than any other coaching staff in the country. In 4 years, I hit only 4 home runs off the Chargers, one of which we all just watched. That's because you watched me 30 times. So, thank you. To my family, thank you for always supporting me, cheering me on, whether from the stands or on live stream. Mom, Dad, Jen, thank you for giving me the opportunity to attend Adelphi and spend 4 unforgettable years in Garden City. Owen, Connor, and Theo, your support of me as a player and now as a coach means the world to me. Kathleen, thank you for being my second mother and for introducing me to sports and always encouraging me to reach for the stars. To my grandmother, Aunt Deb, and Uncle Sean, I'm lucky that I was able to play so close to you and that you're able to be a part of my time as a Panther. Lastly, I'd like to thank my grandfather, Joe Martini, for being the first Panther in my family to blaze this trail and for coming to more home games than I can count. I'm incredibly lucky to have my name go up on the Hall of Fame wall next to his. And as my grandfather always say, 2 martinis are better than 1. So thank you and go Panthers.
Congratulations again to all of tonight's honorees. Let's hear it for them one more time. I would also like to take a moment to thank Adelphi University and the Panther Club for supporting this event. I would also like to thank our athletic department staff in attendance tonight for all of their hard work in making this event possible, including Coordinator of Athletic Engagement and Special Events, John Curto, Business Manager, Kristen Shine, Associate Athletic Director for Compliance, Jessica Roki, and our student media team. That concludes our Hall of Fame ceremony this evening. Before I conclude for good, I will ask that all individual inductees please report to the stage for a final group photo with Danny McCabe and President Storm. Thank you again for supporting the athletic department, and please get home safely. Have a great night, everyone.